Hi everyone, it's Nick and Ron with another edition of Ask Ron for the weekly report. Hey Ron, how you doing?
Pretty good. Looking like you and me's the only one in the building today, huh?
Yeah.
This place is empty. Never seen it so empty. Even when I bought it, it wasn't this empty.
Nice and quiet, eh?
Yeah, but we're all working, and we're working from home, and we're handling it. And I won't say it's business as usual, but it's still business.
All right, so we got our first question here from Toby in California.
Toby?
When can I legally market a house? Once a contract is signed, am I able to market?
Yes.
Or does an attorney need to do anything?
No. You just need to get a signed contract, and you can start marketing it.
Okay. Question 2 from Toby. When and who do I pay the $10 or $100 earnest money deposit to?
Pay the seller.
Okay. Tom from Virginia. And Tom from Virginia is asking a question about Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, they want to prohibit marketing a property with equitable interest.
Mm-hmm.
Wholesaling is out, but what about lease purchases and double closings?
Well, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about wholesaling being out, and don't know anything about them not wanting to market them with equitable interest. And I think, frankly, if you study that deep, you'll find that all of that is fake news. Now, they are passing some new laws. For example, Illinois just passed one to where I can't assign a contract, and that's true. So no more signing contracts there. Well, I can do, I think, 2 a year, or I can do it if I have a license, or I can do it if I take title to the property. So whenever we're going to cite one of these new law changes, let's cite all of it, all right? Oklahoma's I have not studied, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't follow suit with Illinois. But I don't know enough about the exact rule change that you're referring to answer that. But it sure wouldn't be hard for you to find out. Just go on the Oklahoma website and drag down the new statute. But before you do, if there is one, make sure you look for the exceptions on that thing now and read it very, very carefully, because you'll probably find out that that does away with all the crap people are telling you.
Okay. Next question from Adam in Nebraska. Looks like he wrote a book here. I'm going through an experience where my tenant is moving out this week.
Yeah.
My problem is that I didn't get a good size option deposit from him when he moved in.
Let me shorten this because I happen to have read it. Look, your tenant is moving out. He's going to stiff you. There's nothing you can do about it. Get over it. We call that training in the real world. You admit in your own question you didn't get enough deposit from him. All right, you learn from it. You move on. And then you ask, should I go after him? For what? It'll cost you more than attorney's fees, and you'll never collect from the guy, and then your attorney will tell you that as well. Chalk it up to experience, that's all.
Okay. Next question is from Rodney in Mississippi. I have a seller who will sell for what she owes, but does not want the loan to stay in her name because she is going to buy another house.
Okay.
How do I address this issue?
Well, you don't buy it subject to. Instead, you could buy it on a wrap. And that means that you're making her a payment, she's making the bank a payment. She'd have a document showing the income she's receiving, which in time will wipe out the one she's paying. Now, you can't promise her that because that's up to the lender she's going to go to get another loan. But in time, they'll all, as far as I know, give them credit for the incoming payment to wash out the other one, and that means the loan can stay on her credit report, but she still doesn't have a debt ratio problem.
Okay. Maria from New Hampshire. A yellow lettered a vacant home in my area not listed for sale. I did some research and found they own it outright, but owe the town $18,000 in taxes. His estimate is $185,000, and the house is in good condition. If they are willing to deed me the property and pay the tax, and I pay the taxes, would that be a good deal?
Maria, are you really asking me this question? Come on, girl. Are you asking me if I could buy a house worth $185,000 for $18,000, it is a good deal? Give me a break. That's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a foolish question. Of course it's a good deal, but don't assume that somebody's going to do that. You don't know anything about the seller until you get them on the telephone and find out the information about it, and that's called a property information sheet. Hey, Liz. Maria, more studying.
Anthony from Georgia asked, I have started receiving leads thanks to your program, and I am getting ready to start making phone calls per instruction. I haven't made a Roth account yet, nor an LLC to work with. So should I get that started first?
Anthony, neither one of those have anything to do with you doing a deal. You do not need an LLC to buy a house. You do not need a Roth IRA to buy it in. What you need is an agreement between you and the seller, and then just take title in on a land trust and you be the beneficial interest. Let's don't worry about all that other crap here till we start getting some checks in the bank, okay?
Okay.
I don't care if you take title in your own name. That's better than not doing anything.
All right, next question is from Lemont in Virginia. I work 50 plus hours per week at my 9 to 5, which involves 75% travel. Can I still get my business off the ground in 90 days or less and see profit?
Well, that depends on you, Lamont. I don't work very many hours. I probably don't put 5 or 6 hours a month into my real estate business, but hey, I'm not starting from scratch. As soon as you get your system set up, you've got plenty of time to handle the business. But you got to get it all set up first. And answer to your question depends on, A, when you want to get started, how fast can you implement? Are you going to use what we laid out for you to use? Our VAs do most of the work for you. Pat Live takes the inbound calls for you. There's nothing for you to do but make a few phone calls a week and then go visit the houses when you're not on the road. You schedule your visits to when you're home. It's not that complicated. And then when you get ready to sell, you're going to advertise the properties. They're going to go to Pat Live for the calls. You're only going to call back a handful of them that's got anything to work with. So again, you're sending them to the house. You're not showing the houses. And then when they see the house, your work is going to be done by telephone until it's time to actually have a physical meeting to get their deposit. And that can be, of course, when you're home. And of course, somebody else can do all that for you as well if you want.
All right.
Yeah.
Fred from British Columbia, Canada.
Fred.
I think he's asking to get your crystal ball out. How will COVID-19 coronavirus change the housing market?
Now, I am so glad you asked that, Fred. And it just so happens that we're going to have a conference call on that Monday night, March the 30th. And Nick's got the phone numbers right there handy. Or not. Okay. So
we'll put them under this video when we publish it.
They're right down below this video, because since we just made this up. You'll find a phone number and a code to get on my call on Monday night, and that's what it's all about. How to not let a recession prevent or ruin your health or your wealth. And we're going to talk about this and what it means and what I think it means and what's going to happen going forward, and address that all in that one call. It's going to be about an hour call with Q&A afterwards, so plan for about an hour and a half. And also be on the lookout for an email, because we're going to be telling you about our 3-day virtual summit coming up on, mark these dates down right now, April 1, 2, and 3, April Fool's Day. You're going to be in front of the computer watching me, because I'm going to be on there all day long. 3 days of training pulled from the summit that we were going to do in Vegas. We're going to put it online for you so you can jump in and out whenever you want. And it's going to be an incredible 3 days. Plus, I'm going to get you to schedule as soon as you register. So if you don't want to sit there the whole time, you'll know what times you want to sit there. And by the way, here's the good news. The cost on this thing, we thought about it, and we decided that it was free. That's right. I said we're delivering it to you free. Relax. I know it's shocking, but it's coming to you free. We've never done it free before, but we're going to do it. The entire 3 days is free. In fact, we can give them that link right now and go ahead and get on there, because it's only going to hold, 500 people, I think. ronlegrand.com /what?
/virtual summit.
Virtual summit. ronlegrand.com /virtual summit. Better get signed up for that one right now, and then you'll hear more about it later. And we'll also talk about it on the call on Monday night. Plus, you'll get an email. All right? I'm glad you asked. That was a perfect segue. All right.
All right. This next question is from Mukhtar in Texas.
Texas. All right.
The seller of a free and clear house is willing to refinance and pull out equity.
Okay.
The seller says once lenders ease the backlog of applications, rates should normalize, and that will make an opportune time to get in. How can I get a contract now while the seller waits for rates to drop?
Okay, getting a contract now has nothing to do when the rates drop. You do need to get a contract now that you're going to buy it with owner financing for whatever amount he's going to refinance. And you just put that in paragraph 18. And then your closing is going to be within 15 days after he closes the refinance, also in paragraph 18. That way you have it under contract, and now it's up to him to refinance before your window starts for you to close. Of course, you can close it 2 days after he closes the loan. Already got title checked and everything. So your contract just simply says, I'll close within an X number of days after you close the loan, and I'll buy it for the loan amount, assuming that's your agreement. that you buy it for the loan amount and you'll start making payments on it in the third month after you close.
Okay. And
So then you just wait.
if his agreement is for the same as the loan amount, does the paperwork and process remain the same as a regular subject to deal?
Yes, but it's not subject to. You're not buying it subject to. You're going to buy it on a wraparound deed of trust in Texas.
Okay.
Wraparound deed of trust, not subject to. And also, forgot what I was going to, oh, you're going to pay the closing cost. That's nice of you because there almost is none in Texas. So, whatever it was I was just thinking is gone. So,
All right, next question. Maybe we'll come back.
Question.
Adam from Nebraska.
Adam,
Which form or forms do I use if I'm selling a property that I own through owner financing?
you use a purchase and sale agreement. Your paragraph 2B is the one you're going to have to fill out that tells the attorney what are the terms of the house you're selling with owner financing, so they'll know how to prepare the document, the paperwork. So 2B, and it'll ask, is this principal? What's the payment? Is it principal, interest, taxes, and insurance? Is there a balloon in it? And what's the interest rate? And frankly, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can go right down there and just check off what applies.
All right, and then last question from Adam again. How do I do the tax reporting and continually service the loan, collect payments, send out 1098s, etc.? Or do I use an outside loan servicing company for that?
You know what, Adam? I think you ought to probably actually sell a few of them before you start worrying about all that. Come on, just get your buyers to send you the payment. Your accounting's practically nothing. Just turn it over to your accountant if you need to. But if you got QuickBooks, you're going to use that. And if you don't, get your CPA to set you up with it, to put the chart of accounts on it for real estate investors. And the rest is easy. I wish you quit worrying about that. Go get some deals and stop worrying about how you're going to collect checks. They will come, you collect them, you deposit them, you make underlying payment. Now, when you get tired of doing that, then you can use escrow serve. That's escrow serve, S-E-R-V, and they'll do it for you for $15 a month.
And I remember escrow serve, they got no W and no E. So ESCROSERV.com.
Correct.
.com.
$50 setup, they collect, they pay, drop the rest in the account. Pretty good service.
All right, that's it. Anything
All right.
else, Ron?
Oh, that's it for now, guys. Look, hang in there. I know that we're all watching the television all day, watching the news, trying to stay home as much as possible. And I know the whole country's shut down, but there's one thing. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, boy, when this is over, and I don't really think it's going to last that long. Well, can you just imagine the surge that we're going to have in the economy when all these Americans have all this pent-up man to get back out into society? I think the housing is going to explode. I think the stock market is going to explode. So let's just get through this and stop. You know what? What a great time for you to actually out there being buying houses, because I guess that everybody else isn't. And the sellers still want to sell and the buyers still want to buy. If I were you, I'd totally ignore this thing. Well, not ignore it, but stay away from getting in a crowd of people. But I can tell you from my experience so far, sellers do not mind you coming to their house. And you don't mind going, just keep 6 feet away from them. What can I say? So business as usual in that regard. But yeah, as a rule, the whole economy is slowing down, no doubt about it. See you next week.